Welcome to Special Edition. This is Karim in Damanhoury. I'm an Arab Muslim. Unlike most people, I've recently been exposed to all the talk about the Syrian refugees here in Georgia and in the United States in general.
What if they were orphans under the age of 5?
You know, Hugh, we could come up with 18 different scenarios. The fact is that we need appropriate vetting, and I don't think orphans under 5 should be admitted into the United States at this point.
Look, we have to have a reality-based immigration policy for sure. There should be really thorough screening, and we should focus on creating safe havens for refugees in Syria rather than bringing them all the way across the United States. But I do think there is a special important need to make sure that Christians from Syria are being protected.
Now, if there's a rabid dog running around in your neighborhood, you're probably not going to assume something good about that dog, and you're probably going to put your children out of the way.
What Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton are proposing is that we bring to this country tens of thousands of Syrian Muslim refugees. I have to say, particularly in light of what happened in Paris, that's nothing short of lunacy.
I'm putting the people on notice that are coming here from Syria as part of this mass migration, that if I win, they're going back. They're going back. I'm telling you, they're going back.
I decided to visit the Syrian refugee family here in the Atlanta area and one of the volunteers who helped them out once they arrive. But first, let's put everything in context. Following the deadly Paris attacks, more than half the state governors are refusing to let Syrian refugees in the country, even though they are not authorized to do that. Here in Georgia, it's the same thing. Governor Nathan Deal issued an executive order to halt the resettlement of Syrian refugees in the state. In his letter to President Obama, he called for a re-evaluation of the screening process. And according to a recent poll conducted by Fox 5, 58% of Georgia voters agree not to accept Syrian refugees in the state.
I actually agree with that. I don't think that we should be risking.
Rather be safe than sorry, I guess.
I think it's a very unwise decision considering how powerful and large of a nation we are.
I'm more scared of my dorm room getting shot by my roommate more than these guys come in here.
I really don't follow politics, I'm sorry.
Ooh, let's see. I'm not sure if I have a stance on it as of right now.
It's not really good to say that not to accept any refugees in Georgia.
I'm afraid that they come here without background check and they can do a lot of stuff.
I met with Asad, a Syrian American volunteer who has been coordinating efforts in the community to help Syrian refugees start a new life. He says refugees are not a threat to be targeted.
Nathan Deal, it's just punishing the innocent people. If a criminal kills someone, you don't go arrest his neighbor. You arrest the criminal himself. You punish the criminal himself. You put the criminal himself in jail. Unfortunately, nowadays, especially for the Syrian, the whole thing is upside down.
The scare came after a passport of a Syrian national was found near the body of an unidentified attacker who died in one of the suicide attacks in Paris. However, French officials found the passport was fake and belongs to a Syrian soldier who died a few months earlier. The authorities also claim all identified attackers are citizens of European Union countries. Do you think it's safe letting Syrian refugees into the country?
I don't think there is any relationship between the safety of the American and the refugees. Refugees, they are poor people, poor families with little kids. We have 11 families. Those all families, they have kids. Start from 6 kids per family until one family only does not have any kids. all those kids under age of 10. All those family run through intense, accurate procedure of checkup. There is 5 agencies, they meet them. All of them, the minute they apply until the minute they came, it took them 4 years, 2.5 years, 1.5 years.
What started as the so-called Arab Spring in 2011 soon turned into a Syrian crisis. Over 11 million Syrians out of 22 million have fled their homes since the outbreak of the civil war, a war that until today has killed more than 200,000 people. The majority of over 4.2 million UN-registered refugees are settled in neighboring countries including Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan, and Iraq. Slightly over 10% have resettled in European countries, and several millions are still internally displaced in Syria. Meanwhile, here in the United States, only a little less than 2,300 Syrian refugees have been resettled since 2011. About 60 out of those have resettled in the Atlanta area since the outbreak of the Civil War. One of those is Muhammad, who had to flee his home with his wife and 4 kids to a less dangerous village bordering Turkey.
لذلك أنا سكنت المدرسة، مدرسة للدولة فاضية وفي عدة عائلات كانوا معي يعني. سكننا بالمدرسة وبتعرف برد وكذا، كنت بشتري الحطب يعني شلون أقول لك بالوحدة، كم وحدة يعني بالكيلو. عشنا هيك 7 أشهر، بس صار طيارة تيجي على الضيعة كمان فوق يعني تلف، وفي مطار قريب علينا تضرب المطار أحسن أكثر الأحيان. يعني يوم تضرب المطار عنا الأبواب بتنفتح من الضغط. إلى هالشي الأولاد ما بيحسنوا يعني.
طب كان إيه الوضع في المدرسة؟
هو المدرسة أكثر شيء أذاني المدرسة. بالمدرسة يعني نحن نمشي البنت وبرد وجهها بزرق، وجهها بصير أزرق، وبرد نسع أثر أكثر. كانت تسعل. لما رحنا على تركيا صارت تسعل أكثر. رحنا على الدكتور قال مرض قلب وإجباري بده نقل قلب. مشينا الأوراق كلها، فحوصات وتحاليل وهيك شغلات، كل شيء مشينا. جينا قدمنا لهم الأوراق على آخر لحظة يعني على أساس يوافقوا على إنه يسجلونا بالدور. قال السوريين ما بتنعملوا هيك عملية. بس يوم الهي صار له 4 سنين ومعدته صار كتير شغلات يعني انأذت، لذلك بطل يصير نقل قلب. لأن إذا نقلوا القلب عبالي نفس الشيء، الأعضاء الثانية ما راح تشغل القلب بشكل منظم. لو قلنا من أول شيء كان اشتغل نظامي. وبتركيا فيها العملية هي على فكرة. العملية بس القلب لحاله إذا بدنا نغير القلب لحاله بكلفني $300,000. وأنا $300,000 يعني يمكن مو أنا وإذا عائلتي كلها اشتغلت مع محسن جمال، ولا بسنين ولا بالعمر.
Living on a weekly salary of 200 Turkish lira in the city of Gaziantep, Muhammad could neither afford sending his 4 kids to school nor paying for his kids' treatment. They all arrived in Georgia on October 29 of this year after 13 months of vetting to be able to enter the United States.
هلا لأني أنا أولادي معهم مرض قلب ومضرور وأنا ماشي بسرعة 1 وشهر، هذا بسرعة معناته لو بطء كان طول معي 2 أو 3. بعد 7 شهور قالوا لنا عنكم مقابلة. صار بلشت المقابلات يعني 7 شهور 6 شهور طول مقابلاتي. مقابلات أروح اسطنبول كل شهر ونص شهر، أروح وأرجع مثلا
مع الأولاد كلهم.
إيه على الأولاد، والطريق طويل في 17 ساعة.
First day they arrive, we go visit them, sit with them, see what they need. We bring them food, we bring them clothes, we bring them blanket, we bring them furniture, TV, washer and dryer, we bring them everything. All those materials, the resettlement agency does not provide it.
How long would you say they become sufficient once they come here?
2 to 3 months only. 2 to 3 months. Once we get him a car and get him a job, he became self-sufficient with his family. He's feeding his kids, he's working hard and making some money. I know that the government gives them food stamp and gives them Medicaid. The food stamp first review for the food stamp every 6 months they can review it. First review they lose it because within 2 months, as I said, or 3 months they are self-sufficient. They're making money and they are taking care of themselves.
House just passed the Republican-backed refugee bill.
Despite President Obama's plan to accept 10,000 Syrian refugees next year, the House of Representatives passed a legislation a few days after the Paris attacks to suspend his plan, with no Syrian refugees allowed into the United States for now. In a recent poll by Washington Post and ABC News, 54% of respondents said they oppose admitting Syrian refugees to the United States. That level of opposition is not the first of its kind in the country. In a Gallup poll back in 1939, over 60% of respondents opposed the bill to admit Jewish refugee children to the country.
والله بحلم أن أولادي يدرسوا يكون لهم مستقبل ما يعيشوا مثل حكايتي مثلا. أنا تعبت كثير بالحياة يعني بسوريا أو بتركيا تعبنا يعني ما بدي أصير مدرس الأولاد
Muhammad and his family were fortunate enough to get out of the danger zone, but millions of other Syrian civilians, women, and children are still stuck in the crossfire with one hope only, which is to find access to safe haven. And that access is now denied.